Evening. One is back. One had some terrible technical difficulties today. So let me just see if this is actually coming on the right screen. Are we even in the right room? Bear with. Oh, oh yes, it's working. Yes. Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live episode. And today I am doing a ghostly takeover because look, I have been shot. Who shot the Queen? I do not know. But succession has happened. And one is now up in heaven. I'm in the Sandringham and the Windsor up in heaven. So, look, do you like my gloves, people? Do you like my lovely queenly gloves? So, now that one is a ghost, one is looking down at Queen Camilla. And she's wearing all my tiaras. And one is not impressed at all with Queen Camilla taking all of my tiaras. It's just not right. Right, let's have a little peek. So, Karine says, it is a joke. It's Halloween. I am a ghostly queen. I'm dead. I'm deceased. Which means that Charles is now king. And he's in my palace. Deb B. Do B says, this title is so not funny. Well, I think you'll find it is, my dear. It's been royally approved. Constance Levin says, apparently the Queen is a ghost. She is. I am. My goodness. Well, I've got to tell you a story. Since I've been up in heaven, I have to say, I've met Queen Victoria. Well, she wasn't impressed, was she? Because now I am the longest reigning monarch. I had to smile a little. Yes. One up to Queen Victoria. Brianna says, my heart. And Hate London says, what the heck did you do? You caused a real ruckus everywhere. And Kelly says, you got me. I was Googling the Queen passing. Oh my goodness. Judy Hanson says, you scared me to death. Well, I am already dead. Kashinkska17 says, love it. You got us going. And DC says, I love it when you do the Queen. And Winnie Richardson says, I thought your headline was real. And Georgia says, title is wrong on so many levels, not cool. Well, bye-bye, my love. I'll see you in the next heaven. Amber Friend says, please, you can't scare me like that with that headline. I almost started crying. I still might think, just about thinking about it. Oh, my goodness. Misty says, I'm too young to die of a heart attack. Well, try being shot in the head. Who shot me? I think it might have been Camilla with her 12 bore. She wants to get her hands on my jewels. Mary Brunn says, that's an interesting way to get people to get on your live chat. PB says, Elliot just lost it. And Angela says, so the Queen is not really dead. Well, I am. Look. Dawn says, greetings, Your Majesty. And Katie says, what is life like with Charles as king? Well, I've been looking down. I've been looking down on Charles as king. And I have to say, he's redecorated the palace in the most horrible manner. He's put organic wallpaper on everything. He switched all the fabrics to organic. And vegan. He's gone vegan. Vegan paint, vegan carpets, florals everywhere. One is not suitably impressed. Duchess of St. Andrews says, Your Majesty sending you love and light, otherwise outside. Thank you. William Hoffman says, this is just not funny, sorry. Well, you all can go. You can all go, because I am the Queen and I'm dead. Miranda says, you stepped in it this time. Well, goodbye to you all, my loves. You're all banished and sent to the tower. Constance says, is Camilla the Queen? Yes, she is. She's Queen Camilla. Sharon says, good evening all. You look super. Well, thank you so much. Sharon says, I have never gotten to my phone so fast. You shouldn't do that. I was like, oh no, I still love you though. And Amy says, well done. Katie says, I will not unsubscribe. I love this. And Annie Cuffy says, it's Halloween, people. Get a grip. Exactly. Sharona says, welcome back, Your Majesty. Thank you. Mikhail says, Your Majesty, since you're in heaven, then you know who shot you. Well, I don't, because I was dead at the time when it happened. So I don't know. I think it may even have been Philip with his 12 bore. I'm not entirely sure, but look, it left a terrible mark on one's head. Charlotte says, oh my gosh, I opened your site at top speed. And Leslie says, happy Halloween, great costume. Liv Lovenar says, you gave us all a scare. I had to check on latest royal news. Well, of course. PP thinks I'm being very naughty. Go Getter says, oh, what a treat, or should I say a trick. Sean thinks it was one of the corgis that shot me. Well, it may have been one of the corgis, or one of the dorgies, maybe. Light to Mabi says, I read somewhere that the code word for the Queen's passing is London Bridge. It was most definitely enacted. I knew it had to be something else. Winnie says, I recovered from your fright. Good one, your majesty. Constance says, you may be dead, but your hair looks very nice. Well, it was done in the coffin, wasn't it, my loves? Already. All with tiara on top, too. Oh, my goodness. Right, now, I think I'm going to have to ring down into reality. So, we have the phone. So let's talk on the phone, shall we? Who shall I call? I think I'm going to call... It's got to be Charles, hasn't it? I need to know what he's done with the palace. Hello, Charles. What do you mean you're dying of fright? It's Mummy, dear. I'm calling from heaven. Right. What have you done with all this vegan nonsense in the palace? Look, I don't care. It must have cost a fortune. The taxpayer will be having a fit. You know what the press are like, Charles. We need good old-fashioned paint. Crown, of course. Anything with a royal warrant. Look, stop with all the vegan nonsense. I shall not have it in my deceased palace. Well, you can do it at Sandringham, but not at Buckingham. Charles, I've got to go. I'm playing bowls in half an hour with Queen Victoria. Yes. Ciao for now. I'll call later. Give my love to Camilla, even if she shot me. Goodbye. Oh my goodness. Well, Charles. I'm going to hang up from heaven. My goodness, Charles. He was very indignant when I phoned. It was like he was speaking to a ghost. Katie says, if you are gone, what is Harry doing? Well, I've not looked down. Almadel says, oh my goodness, how long did it take you to put yourself like this? I'm loving it. Well, I don't know. I just came to heaven like this, dear. Jill Beck says, you're fabulous, thank you. Curtis says, same outfit from last year from Halloween. No, I was a ghostly, I think Royal Reviewer was a ghostly Georgian last year. Annette says, what? No depilatory in heaven? Your Majesty could use some service. And Parmalee Stevens says, you gave Charles a fright. Well, I don't know who I'm going to give a fright to next. It might have to be Princess Anne. Mikhail says, oh my God, I'm laughing so hard my ribs hurt. Well, I've met God. He's very nice. He appointed me there on earth. Oh, but I'm not terribly keen on George III. My goodness. How he's one of my relatives, one will never know. Auntie Dee says, Charles, don't be impertinent. Definitely not. No impertinence implied. My goodness, why are people so frightened? One doesn't know. Amy Shelber says, have you seen Princess Diana and heaven? And I hope she's doing well. Well, Diana's off enjoying herself, isn't she? She's off. She's yachting somewhere. Goodness knows with whom. Sharon says, so funny, I was panicking, but now I'm laughing so hard. Love the British sense of humour. Thank you, darling. Tracy says, Your Majesty, may I say you are making a wonderful ghost. I am quite certain that it was Camilla or Philip. Well, that's the mystery. Who shot the Queen with their 12 bore? One doesn't know. Oh, by the way, have you seen my kilt? I'm lovely in a kilt today. There we go. This is the bottom of the outfit for the Queen today. There we go. So there it's like I'm posing for... Look! It's like I'm a stamp. Philip, lick me. There we go, I'm a stamp. I can still do my stamp pose. But I'm do you know what? They didn't put my Lorna handbag in the coffin. Therefore, I do not have my Lorna to clutch. Rachel, oh, Jimmy says beautiful. Katie says, and Philip, is he with Sung? Well, I think Philip has a concubine right now. Fran Mellick says, Your Majesty, you need the diadem for tonight. It won't fit on this weave. Beth Ann says, ho 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 ho. Mikhail says, if it was Camilla, you need to haunt her. Well, I'm deciding who I'm going to haunt. Sean says, how's the Queen Mum? How was the reunion? Well, Mumsy dear has been looking after dear Margot for me. So Mumsy and Margot were waiting. And basically, there's no gin. There's no gin in heaven. Can you believe it? There's no gin and there's no Dubonnet. Therefore, Mumsy was most upset. In fact, Mumsy said she wished she drank more while she was alive. I know. So there you are, people. Drink more whilst you're alive because there's no gin in heaven. Mumsy was most upset. Most upset indeed. But she was terribly, terribly delighted to be reunited with George VI. Yes, absolutely. They have been inseparable ever since. And I have been reunited with about 1,000 corgis. About 1,000 corgis that I thought had gotten Susan, my corgi. Oh, the reunion was so good. She came running around and she leapt up into me. And it was just so amazing to be reunited with all the dogs. Fran met a little drinky winky. Well, yes, you can't have a little drinky winky in heaven because there's no gin and there's no Dubonnet. My goodness. Elaine says, please haunt Piers Morgan. Well, there's a few I'd like to haunt. I think there's ones just stuck up a tree trying to get photographs of Harry and Meghan. Katie says, I have a beer, so I'm working on drinking more. Well, please do, because there is none in heaven. Annie M says, you are too much. People all continue to enjoy the chat. Have a Bailey. There's no Baileys. There's no alcohol up in heaven. So make the most of it while you're on earth. Annie M says, you are too much. People all continue to... Oh, I've read that one. Poodle Dabbert says, oh my God, what a shock. We thought she'd live forever. Well, at least there was no regency period. That's all I've got to say. Although, my goodness, Camilla has got her hands on my jewels and she's wearing them all the time. Yes, and especially Mumsy. Mumsy says, what is she doing wearing all my jewels? And I said, well, Mumsy, I inherited them after you, and therefore Camilla's had them after me. Lady Buckingham says, how is it called heaven if there is no booze? Well, one doesn't know. Fran Miller says, Your Majesty, please haunt... Oh, look, I can still do the royal wave from heaven. It's like I'm on a stamp, isn't it? Yes. Oh my God, right, Charles. Charles is now on all the stamps. He's on all the stamps, all the money. I've not even been phased out properly. It was all in one go. But we're still waiting for the coronation. Did I see the latest cover of Meghan in Tatler magazine? Well, I think they used an old photo, didn't they? I think so. DC says, when Camilla passes, who will get her jewels? Her children or the crown? Well, the crown, of course. They are passed down as part of the inheritance. Therefore, they should go to Catherine, unless Camilla does something to them. Gree3 USA says, you are cracking me up. Well, I think it's about time I rang someone else, another family member. So, let me get my phone. Oh, by the way, rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. Even in heaven. Right, now, oh, I know who I'm going to ring. I've got a bone to pick with someone. This one is not impressed with this. This is by my friend Angela Kelly. The Other Side of the Coin. Available in all good bookshops. Buy it now. Angela Kelly. LVO. The Other Side of the Coin. The Queen, the Dresser and the Wardrobe. Available in all good bookshops. Shh. No. I am most suitably not happy with Miss Kelly. Shh. No, I have been gone for 2 seconds and she's written a tell-all book about my person. I am not happy at all. The Royal Variety Performance indeed. Showing off all my secrets. Showing me with my hands in my pockets. Look, I can do the pose, look. This is what I was like in the photograph. Well, I am not happy, so I'm going to dial Angela right away. Hello? Is this Angela? I'll hold. They put one on hold. Angela, pick your jaw up off the floor, dear. It is me, the Queen. What do you mean? Look, I am ringing from heaven. Why have you done a tell-all book about me? And why are you showing me with my hands in my pockets? I've only been gone for 2 seconds. You were supposed to be my friend. Right, you are cancelled. And I hope Camilla sacks you. Goodbye. My goodness. How dare she? Writing a tell-all book. Oh, LD Poodle says, no one will listen to your measurements, dear Queen. It will be in the bargain bin. Well, I hope Camilla's not done anything with my furs. Oh, my goodness. Sharon P says, good one, Elliot. I ran into... Ooh, you know what? I can't use this because my gloves. Right, hang on. I'm going back down again. Sean says they can't put the Queen on hold. Well, Angela did. Katie says, thank you so much for the effort you put into this. I really enjoy it. Thank you. I'm trying to scoot down. Right, one is going to have to remove a glove because I can't operate this computer system. They do have computers in heaven, you know. Right, hang on. I'm going down a little bit. Dee Dee Ridley says, oh my god, this is the best. It is indeed. Cindy says, new people are coming in, didn't have a clue what you're up to. Well, I think it's always good to keep people in suspenders. I mean suspense. Leslie says, I read Angela Kelly's book today. I'm sure the Queen approves. I most certainly do not. Candice says, I love that photo of your Majesty with your hands in your pockets. One should not be seen with one's hands in one's pockets. I'm wearing the Granny's tiara, Queen Mary. Oh, I've met Granny, Queen Mary. Oh, she is not happy that Camilla has all the jewels. I'm wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara today. Auntie Dee says, Your Majesty, go ask my granddad for some wine. He used to make bootleg wine. Well, maybe there's some bootleg wine in heaven. Who knows? Tracy says, I'm ordering Angela Kelly's book right... Stop! Don't do it. Don't order her book. Available in all good bookshops. Shh. Lady Buckingham says, so I guess that tiara will not go to Catherine since you took it with you. Well, it's probably an apparition. It must be a ghostly apparition. Sean says, maybe Kate spikes your drink before you slept. Maybe she did. And Michael says, what a horrible joke. Well, I think you're a horrible person. Get off my chat. DC says, why would you delete the comment question about Catherine being in Sainsbury's? I didn't see one. Pat Long says, major eye roll. People get a sense of humour already. And Becky Ray says, do you have your... I'm afraid they did not put a purse in the coffee. Constance says, I am so pleased that they buried you with your tiara. I most certainly am too. I'm glad Camilla didn't get her mitts on this one. Curtis says, I heard the Queen gives permission to Angela Kelly to write the stuff in the book. I most certainly did not. I was dead. Cheryl says, greetings from MA in the US. Hello. Well, hello to you. Fiona says, you are being hilarious. Thanks for the good laugh. And Christine says, will you go join the other guests at the tower? Yes, there's a few people here that need to go to the tower, and I will send them off now. The tower will be full at this rate. I am going to have them beheaded. Deceased. Deceased, I tell you. Rin says, who's the randiest royal you've met in heaven? Well, I would have to probably say Henry VIII is the most randiest royal in heaven. Never mind 6 wives. He's on his 529th now. My goodness, they're dropping like flies. Vinnie Blair says, why would they bury you in the best tiara? No, it was your fave, but they should not have buried you in that one. It was in my will, darling. I most definitely bequeathed it to myself. Robert Raver says, will Elton John sing at your funeral? Well, I've already had my funeral, and no, he did not. Instead, I had Nicki Minaj. She did a rap, and then she did some kind of weird dance with her posterior. All over the coffin. Barbara says, Elliot, you are the best. Curtis says, did Harry and Meghan now using electric car? I see it in the last engagement. Well, that will be Charles's influence. Personally, I prefer diesel. And Casey says, why bury you in a beard? Well, we all know that facial hair continues to grow long after you're dead. So there we go. It just grew from my hairy lip. Mrs. Shota Azirullah says, hi, Elliot. Who's Elliot? I am the Queen. Mikhail says, too funny. Sharon Welsh says, just splurted my coffee, Nicki Minaj. Well, I've heard she's got a big anaconda. PM Smell says, oh, something about shot in the head. I was shot in the head, look. I have a wound. It's very neat, though. It's a very neat wound. Mrs. Smith says, twerking on the Queen's coffin. Poodle says, Anne Boleyn's. Anne Boleyn, she's carrying her head around with her. She's got it attached on a sling. Jeanette Lynn says, put a little strip of first aid tape and tape it to your 2 fingers on your gloves. It will help scroll with gloves on. Oh my, I'm not cutting my gloves. My goodness. Sean says, my goodness, Your Majesty, only Philip has an anaconda. Well, his anaconda don't want none unless he's got buns on. Have I seen Elizabeth I? Well, I don't really get on with Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I and Queen Victoria are very put out that I am the longest reigning monarch in British history. Therefore, they keep their distance because they know who is the goddess. And it is not one of those. They're like the ugly sisters. Seriously. Let's have a look. Amy says, what is my favourite thing to do in heaven? Well, I of course love still to go horse riding. It's one of my favourite things to do. So whenever you hear a little pitter-patter up in the heavens, it is me, your Royal Majesty, pitter-pattering with the horses. So lovely, isn't it, to ride? I ride on the clouds. I do a little gallop, a little trot and a canter, all across the heavens. It's lovely. Pat Long says, nothing to be nervous about. We're all friends. We most certainly are. Cindy says, this is the Royal Reviewer joking around. Who's Royal Reviewer and who's joking? Christine says, tell those other queens to get over it. They need to get over it, most definitely. You know what? You can't get a decent cup of tea in heaven. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in the water. I don't know. But you cannot get a decent cup of tea. So enjoy your beverages whilst you are on Earth. Is all I've got to say anyway. Yes, I've seen Princess Diana, but she keeps cavorting off on yachts. And there are yachts in heaven, yes. She goes sailing. Lots. Jeanette Lynn says, Queen Elizabeth II, you can let... Ooh, I think part of your comment was cut off. Will I be calling Meghan? Well, I might call Meghan now, actually. Let me just see. Let me see if my phone's ready. Hello. Is this the Frogmore estate? Could you please put me through to Frogmore Cottage, please? It's Her Majesty. No, not Camilla. The previous one. Yes, Elizabeth. And I'd rather not speak to any... I don't want to speak to a minor functionary. Thank you. Meghan? It's the Queen. What do you mean? Look, I want to know what you're up to. I've been reading the tabloids, you see. I'm not entirely sure they got everything correct. And I've been watching Piers Morgan, too, from heaven. Oh, you're suing. Oh, okay. Well, how's that going, dear? Let one know. One might be able to do something. Quietly behind the scenes, of course. Oh, it's progressing. Well, when's the case? Could it be next year? Oh, okay. Well, that's very slow, dear. Well, can't they speed things up? Well, can't you get Charles to do something, dear? Oh, he's too busy watering his tomatoes. And talking to his apples. Oh, well, what about Camilla, dear? What, she does nothing? She does totally nothing? What do you mean? She's always on a horse. Up a tree. What about Andrew? Oh. Oh, he's gone underground. Oh, okay. Well, what about Philip? Oh, he won't do anything either. Well, why not? He's at Wood Farm. Meghan, listen. You've got to just take things easy, dear. Yes. Take things easy. Have a holiday. And how's Archie? Oh, he's growing up. Is he walking yet, dear? Oh, he's taken his first steps. And what colour's his hair, dear? Is it like his father? Oh, it's bright ginger. Oh, that's lovely, dear. Right, I've got to go. Yes. Yes, I'm doing bingo at 6. Yes, with Queen Mary. Okay, I'll see you, Meghan. See you, Meghan. Bye. Bye, dear. That was Meghan. She's doing okay. But I wish things would speed up a little. Jojo says I'm on the floor. Carol says, Your Majesty, you should be headed for New York City and go on Broadway. Oh, one won't go to Broadway. I'm not haunting those boards. With those broads. Sean says, Camilla is always smoking a cigar and probably killed you. Well, I don't know who killed me with their 12 ball. Mrs. Shota says, Your Majesty, my birthday is in 6 days and it's making me a bit nervous. What's your birthday, dear? It's making you nervous. Duchess of St. Andrew says, bingo at 6. Yes, this is what we do here in heaven. There's nothing else to do, unless you're haunting somebody, of course. And I'm not in limbo. Alicia says, did you ever consider becoming an actor? I'm genuinely being serious. Well, I'm genuinely being serious. You're impertinent, dear. Candice says, have you run into the Duchess of Windsor? Don't even get me started on her. Mumsy and the Duchess of Windsor fell out again. Yes. They're always falling out, those two. I can't be doing with it, to be quite honest. It's driving me insane. I just say, Mumsy, Mumsy, just sit there and wave your flag. And try and think of what the taste of gin was like. Because that's all you can do in heaven, is just think about the taste of it. Oh, I said, Mumsy, just, I don't know, write a speech or something and pretend you're delivering it. In fact, that's the one thing that I do actually miss about being on land. And that is doing my Christmas speech. Because I do normally like to sit there like this and do my Christmas speech. And I always finish with, and I wish you all a very happy Christmas. And I miss doing it. It's the thing I miss doing the most, I have to say. But not wearing that big heavy crown. I'm glad it was carried in front of me in the end. Karine says, Your Majesty, would you please haunt Piers for us? Well, you've all heard the story, haven't you? You've all heard the story where people can get haunted by 3 ghosts. From the past, from the present, and from the future. And I have to say, those ghosts are on their way to Mr. Morgan. On Christmas Eve. I've heard rumours. Curtis says, England defeated by South Africa in the Rugby World Cup. Harry was there with Japan's new emperor and South African president. Did you cover? Well, I did send him a message, which he did deliver ahead of the game. So, he did deliver it, and then I actually saw that he went into the changing room and celebrated with the South African team. So I think he did a really good job. But I'm just terribly upset that England lost. Alicia says, I offended you and your majesty. Impertinent, dear. Jackie J is laughing at limbo. Well, we all like a limbo, but I do the limbo when you go down like that and you shimmy under the pole. Duchess of St. Andrews says, Your Majesty, after 92 years on Earth, who would you wish to haunt? Well, there's a few press I'd like to haunt, I have to say. But I'm probably thinking, it's got to be one of my former prime ministers. Maybe the one that used to like to try and upstage me. I'm not naming names. Cindy says, Oh Lord, I just typed in Dubonnet in a work email. Oh my goodness, dear. I think I was the first to send an email. Candice says, Good, Mr. Morgan deserves what he gets. He's got it coming, my dears. You heard it first. Rin Wesley says, Oh, is that Thatcher? We're not mentioning that woman. Gree USA says, Oh, shimmy on, my dear. Sean says, Is it Her Majesty like you've never seen before? This is better than Oprah. Robert says, Helen Mirren will be playing your ghost soon. Well, I think she will. That one will play anything. She'll do anything for a few dollars. Vanilla says, Are you going to eat my genius brain, Your Majesty? Well, we don't eat anything in heaven. Like I've said, there's no gin, there's no Dubonnet, there's no alcohol, there's no food. So make sure you get everything whilst you're here on Earth, I have to say. Who is Mr. Morgan? Piers, dear. Dee Dee Ridley says, We know who you are talking about. Wink, wink. Maybe you do, dear. Harry says, Does your mother still wet the bed? Well, mother does not wet the bed. Although, sometimes when she takes a little tinkle, it rains. It is what it is, my dear. Who's my favourite grandchild? Well, I don't have favourites, my dear. But I would probably have to say that I think my favourite grandchild of all is probably one of the corgis. Barbie says, The photo with your hands in your pockets of your dress is better than your hands in someone else's pockets. Rest in peace. Well, most definitely. I can reenact it, look. There we go, look. I'm reenacting. Doesn't that look good? Yes. I can reenact the pose just like that. Jimmy says, Does that mean the 12th of December, the ghosts will arrive prior to Christmas? No, Christmas Eve, they'll visit Piers Morgan. The ghost of Christmas present, Christmas past, and Christmas future. They'll give him the full Dickensian treatment, dears. Poodle Dobert says, Yes, corgis are the best. And Nermal says, Your Majesty, how much do you weigh? Nothing in heaven, dear. Nobody weighs anything in heaven. We're all as light as a feather. We're all skinny in heaven. Sean says, God keep our gracious queen, long live our ghostly queen. God keep our queen, send her Well, they've changed my song. They've changed my song. It's now God save the king. And one is not happy. That's been my song for all those years. And now they've changed the song. And one is not happy. They even had Elton John to recompose it. Not happy at all. Has the Queen died? Well, look at me. Do I look alive, dear? Betsy says, you once said heaven would be a bit of a come down after the incredible, amazing life you've had. Well, it most certainly is. There's nothing to do other than bingo. That's all we do all day is bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. There's no parliament to open. There's no engagements to attend. It's totally boring, my dear. I can't even eat breakfast out of Tupperware. Alicia Anderson says, Your Majesty, how on earth did you make your way into Elliot's house? Well, I'm spooking. It's Halloween. I can come down. Nermal says, Your Majesty, why do you have a beard? Because facial hair keeps growing long after you're dead. How did you die? Well, I'm trying to figure it out. I was shot in the head. I was shot in the head with a 12-bore. But we don't know who fired the trigger. It could have been Camilla with her 12-bore. It could have been Philip with his 12-bore. I don't know. And now, since I've been gone, I've been looking down on heaven, and Philip has been playing his rap music loud. Wood Farmer's been banging. It's like he's gone back to being a teenager. All his mates are around. He's got young people round. He's having parties day and night. He's got concubines. Concubines left, right and centre. He's even had a pole installed right in the middle of the driveway. And there's women up and down it all the time. And he's playing rap music. I think he's playing Nicki Minaj. He's playing Lil' Kim. He's playing everything. Yes, one is not suitably impressed. Jim says, oh, I mean, we're not reading that one. Frederica says, just stop by to say hello. I have to move along and order Long Johns for my boy in school in Georgia. Weather has turned dreadful and Halloween has been cancelled. R2S3 says, Sneaks, says, why would someone shoot you? And shouldn't you have guards with you? Well, they didn't get there in time. It must have been one of the family. So, there we have it. I think it was most definitely one of the family. I'm thinking it was Camilla. Kevin says, Philip opened a club at Buckingham Palace. Well, maybe he did. Fran says, have you got your dance pearl, Your Majesty? Well, one could do a little dance, couldn't one? But one's not going to. Because, well, actually, one's hips are better in heaven. Everything's lighter in heaven. Sean says, how are the clouds, Your Majesty? Did you have a cloud traffic jam on your way to heaven? Did it hurt? No. One just ascended, because one is a goddess. Curtis says, where's Prince Andrew disappeared? He's taken time out, my dear. Rian says, can you imagine Prince Philip being more of a partier than either William or Harry? He most definitely has. Now you know where Harry got it from. Vanilla says, I saw Prince Charles pull the trigger, Your Majesty. I have been spying on him whilst I was in my box form. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Well, maybe Charles was fed up of waiting for dear Mama to pop off. Well, do you know, I had another good 15 years left in me. I would have gone till at least nearly 120. Claudia says, I love you. You are the best. I have no idea where Elliot is. Did you rise or Uber up? Well, I did try and call an Uber, but they took away my handbag, my Lorna, so I couldn't even use my mobile phone. Therefore, I had to just ascend like everybody else. Auntie D says, Your Majesty, tell Tupac and Biggie I say, oh my goodness, Biggie and Tupac. They are my besties, my goodness. They're waiting at bingo right now. They love a game of bingo. Biggie and Tupac, they love a game of bingo. Yes. And they're always there doing their rapping whilst they're attending the bingo. It's all very sweet, you know, my dears. Yes, they are my dear friends. Did we celebrate Halloween? No. Fran Miller says, now you have Camilla hit the cigars. Well, she's always smoking, isn't she, dears? She'll be next. Alegna says, please give Thomas Markle a scare of the ghost of the future. Well, I think he's got it coming too. Mrs. Smith says, does Elvis join you for bingo? No, not Elvis. He's still stuck on the toilet eating a hamburger. No, he just doesn't do it. Elderly Poodle says, do they have 70-year-old shoes? And does someone break them in? Well, no. We don't wear shoes in heaven. R2S3 Sneak says, why you have a moustache? Because, dear, facial hair keeps growing long after you're dead. Dee Dee Ridley says, Philip has good taste. He's living his dream before he joins your majesty. Well, he better look out, because I might send him back. Christine's laughing at Royal Bingo. Will I visit Elliot's chat more often? Well, no, because I'll be too busy playing bingo. Lady Buckingham says, it was Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with the lead pipe. Don't be so facetious. One can't speak. Don't be so facetious, dear. Jeanette Lynn says, don't fret. 2 days of partying and Philip will join you. It won't take much. Do you know what? There's been a few scares. I almost thought he was going to ascend. There's been some ladies who have been attending his bedchamber. And, well, let's just say, they were quite well endowed ladies in the tartar department and the bottom department. So, he almost had 2 heart attacks one night. Vanilla says, are you going to scare me? Well, are you going to scare someone? I don't know who I'm going to scare. One doesn't know. I might scare Charles. I might go down to Charles and say, guess who's back? I told you I'd be back. And you're not king anymore. Auntie D says, Your Majesty, do the angels stick to singing hymns only? Or do they trap music sometimes asking for friends? Do they do rap music? Well, they do all types of music in heaven. I would probably say that rap music is probably the most popular in heaven. I'm not entirely sure why, but it just is. I mean, everyone's going singing Anaconda. Anaconda is a really big hit here in heaven right now. Everyone's Anaconda don't. TLO says, you tricked me. I thought the real Queen Elizabeth had died. I am dead. I'm deceased. Sharon Welsh says, the choir keeps singing loudly. Indeed. Oh, Fran Miller says, I like Arnie. Jojo's laughing. Maggie says, they always say the butler did it. Have you looked? No, it definitely wasn't the butler. There was only a few people in attendance when I got shot in the head. Camilla, Charles, Edward, Andrew, and Anne. So it's one of those. R2S3 says, was that your Halloween costume? I'm not in costume, dear. This is real life. Annie thinks the corgi did it. Oh my goodness. Right, I think I need to phone somebody else right now. Right, I'm going to call Philip, because I heard he's been a very naughty boy. Hello, can you put me through to Earth, please? Yes. Wood Farm. Yes, Sandringham. Thank you. Yes, I'll hold. They're just connecting me through. Philippe? Philippe? Hello, it's Liz. Yes. What do you mean you thought I'd gone? Well, I'm back. Look, Philippe, I know you're on your own now, and you need company, and even company of that of a good woman. But I have to say, the pole was just a step too far. What if Emily Andrews got wind of the pole? Look, I've seen her. She's up the nearest tree. She's got her long lens. Yes, Philip, you need to move the pole. Move the pole indoors. If she sees, it'll be everywhere. Yes. Absolutely everywhere. You know it will, dear. Move the pole. Okay. And also, I want to talk about all this rap music. If Piers Morgan gets wind of all this rap music, he'll be talking about it on Good Morning Britain. Yes. So you need to turn the music down, dear. Most definitely. And as for that Nash, Emily Nash, as for that Nash, you need to just look. I think she's been snooping around Sandringham. Yes. Yes. So make sure everything is spick and span. Yes. Just because I'm dead doesn't mean I don't look out for my family. Behind the scenes, of course. Okay. Philip, calm down, dear. Okay. I'll see you soon, dear. Bye. Bye. Oh, Philip. Sometimes he hasn't got the brains he was born with. He does miss me terribly. Yes, I saw Diana. She was on a yacht somewhere. Oh, Kevin says Camilla is burning cigar holes all over the fine linens. Well, that's just her style. B2B Field N says, Your Majesty, you're a hoot, and you need to give Piers Morgan and his cohorts their just rewards. Haunt them as often, as they badmouth your granddaughter-in-law Meghan. Can I give George a call? What, you mean Prince George? Well, I could give Prince George a call, but he's too young to answer, I think, properly. Oh, what question, Reg? Right, I'm just going to go up to see if I can see things. Mikhail's laughing at it's Liz. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Greater Bilby says you should ride around the palace grounds on one of your ghost horses with your head tucked underneath your arm. Mum, my head is still attached, dear. Catherine Walker says, Queen, your skin looks to die for. Well, one might like to die. I've not seen Jackie O. She keeps her distance. Elder Poodle says, you said the crown was too heavy and now look what it did. Well, it didn't snap my neck. I got shot in the head. Where is my body? My body is at Frogmore. Yes. It's in a vault, dear. The same one as Mumsy and Dadsy and Margot. Vanilla Flare Productions says, I would give you a hug, Your Majesty, but we can't touch ghosts. It will go straight through me, dear. Just like carrots. Mikhail says, Camilla will be there shortly. Charles did her in and he's been crying, asking for his mummy. Well, I've already phoned Charles, and I have to say, he was most indignant over his vegan vegetables. Yes. Everything's vegan. Vegan this, vegan that, vegan carpet, vegan paint. Everything. Sunflower says gorgeous. Mikhail says Camilla will be there shortly. Oh yes, well maybe she will be up shortly. What is Her Majesty's favourite food and will she miss it? Since in heaven we will no longer be hungry. Well, I have to say the food that I miss the most is KFC hot wings. I love KFC hot wings. Mm. Finger licking good. I agree, Camilla is ringing. Camilla on the line. Oh my god, right, let me just put my glove on to answer the phone. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, I can't even get my glove on. It's ghostly, dear. Right, let's see what Camilla's got to say, shall we? Hello, dear. How did you get this number? It's supposed to be X directory. Yes. So why are you calling, Camilla, dear? Now, Camilla, I have a bone to pick with you. Did you shoot me in the head? It wasn't you, dear. Well, who was it then, dear? Oh, you're not saying, dear. Well, why not, dear? Oh. Well, look. Why else are you ringing? Camilla. Camilla, stop. Yes. Look, I've seen all the things you do with those horses. Yes. And no. No, you cannot ride an elephant into Parliament. Yes, I know you want to ride an elephant into Parliament, dear, but no. No, not even a giraffe. No. It's too tall. No. And get your filthy mitts off my jewels. Thank you very much. Yes. Look, and make sure you look after Charles. Yes, he started wearing shorts again. Well, I think he needs to wear proper trousers. It's most suitable. When he's carrying out the engagement. Yes. Okay, look, remember, no elephants. No. No, you cannot ride an elephant up the mall. It simply will not do. No. Look, Camilla. Camilla, be the rock for Charles. He needs you. And I hope it wasn't you that shot me in the head. I've hung up on that one. My goodness. Yes, she most certainly does want the crown jewels. Kevin says it was Charles whilst Camilla kept a lookout. I don't know if this mystery will ever be solved. Vanilla Flare says, I should summon the Kitsune to be your spiritual companion, your majesty. The Kitsune would make a very good regal oriental spirit guide for you. Sean says, how's Jesus? I bet he's a hoot. Well, he's too busy eating Easter eggs. B2B Field says, my, your majesty, who's going to handle the investigation into your untimely demise, Sherlock Holmes? Well, nobody is questioning. I don't know why. I think Charles or Camilla may have silenced it. It's all been driven underground. Amy Shelby says, have you met up with John Lennon yet? I can't stand his music, dear. Most definitely not. And that's that Yoko Ono. Roger Shappett says, I'm late. I thought it was cancelled. No. Maggie says, where is your lipstick, Queenie? Here, look. Beautiful, isn't it? I've got ballet slippers on my lips as well. Elder Poodle says, my husband walked by and heard he almost spit his beer on the floor. How dirty, dear. I hope you got a good mop. G. Mark says, love the Easter eggs comment. Mikhail says, eating Easter eggs, definitely not chocolate bunnies. That's not religious at all. Easter eggs, dear. Katie says, my husband thinks I'm crazy. Well, aren't we all, dear? Vanilla Flair says, the fellow foxes in the palace gardens are getting quite rowdy, except for me, of course. I saw one of my fellow fox friends bite Charles on the ankle. Well, that's why he wears ankle socks. What about George Harrison? He's scruffy. No. No Beatles. One doesn't like Beatles. One gets Beatles exterminated. Sean says, my girlfriend thinks I'm crazy too. Do you know what? I am missing my Lorna. I need something to clutch in this hand, like this. Yes, that's what I need. Veronique is laughing at elephants. Well, Camilla, I think, is been influenced by Meghan with all the African vibes. So now Camilla wants to ride an elephant. Karine says, Reg... Oh no, I didn't see what Reg said. And I can't scroll up in these gloves. Auntie says, say hi to Prince. Purple rain, purple rain. Well, I think I would die for you. Normal Bra says, where is heaven located? Up, dear. Marilyn Monroe. Well, do you know what Marilyn Monroe is doing? She's still having wind blown up her skirt. Stephanie Dory is laughing. Have I met Anna Nicole? Anna Nicole. Do you know what? Anna Nicole is so sweet. Yes, I've met Anna Nicole. And you know what? She's after God. She's after God. She has the hots for God, most definitely. She's after God. I don't know. Maybe it's because he has all the money in the world. But yes, Anna Nicole is after God. And I think she's finally found her love. I really do. They seem to get on very well. God and Anna, and of course, you know, her new stepson, Jesus. Yes, we've all heard of Jesus. Yes, Anna Nicole is doing marvellously. She really is. She's off the drugs. She's off the drink. And she's just having a really good time. Yes. Her and God are just very, very, a lovely couple. I often have them over for candlelight suppers. I really do. They are a lovely couple. Vanilla Flair Production says, me and my beloved Fox friends miss you so much, Queen Elizabeth. Well, thank you. Oh, Annette thinks Fergie did it. Well, I don't know, unless somebody was up a tree that I didn't see. Yes, I need my handbag. I'm missing my handbag. Sean says, Anna Nicole Smith is after God. What will be her last name? Anna Nicole of the world. No, she'll be Mrs. Anna Nicole God. Red said, are the tabloids going after the Duchess of Cambridge because her protection officers prevented photos from being taken in Sainsbury's? Well, I wouldn't want my photo taken in Sainsbury's either. Courtney Newton-John says, I thought this was real. Come on, please don't do stuff like that. Like what? It's Halloween, dear. Get a grip, people. Tuts39 says, have you had tea with your great-great-great-great-grandmother yet? Look, Queen Victoria, I've told you before, she is jealous because I am the longest reigning monarch. Elizabeth I and Queen Victoria do not like me. They shut me out. I'm not in their clique. Yes, Elizabeth I and Queen Victoria are in a clique. They are like that. Inseparable. Joined at the hip, they are. It's as much as Prince Albert can do to get a word in edgeways. So, those two, they are bees. They are absolute bees to me. Just because I outreigned all of them. I am the goddess and they know it. So they are the mean girls. They are the mean girls. And they are being cruel and mean. And ignorant. Kathy Bolter says, where's Freddie Mercury? Can you channel him? No, dear. I don't do pop stars. KT says, if anyone get up a tree, it's Fergie. Or maybe Fergie and Emily Andrews are up that tree. Kevin said, Camilla sold all your bags. It's all over the news. Well, I've got a lot to say about bags. Fran Mellis says, they are pawning your crown jewels. How dare they? Elderly Pool says, I love my husband. He likes Elliot and laughs. Well, thank you. Mira says, what do you think will happen to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? Well, she's not a Markle, is she, dear? Definitely not. So what do I think will happen to Meghan and Harry? Well, I think they will carry on doing an amazing job supporting the crown. And of course, when William and Catherine take over from Camilla, I think they will do a fabulous job supporting them too. Camilla's selling them on eBay. I'll have eBay cancelled. Mikhail thinks it was Katie Hopkins. Oh my goodness, she gets everywhere. Lorraine says, hello, is this live? Yes. Sharon Welsh says, my daughter is sat here laughing too. Chantal says, what? Oh, I think that comment needs removing. Franamella says, no, it's your majesty's kitty up a tree. The Greater Bilby says, yes, it is Elvis. Is Elvis the King still performing at the pearly gates? I've told you, dear, he's still stuck on the loo eating a cheeseburger. Myra says, Camilla the Queen, oh no. Well, it's law, dear, and the law hasn't been changed, so of course she has to be Queen. And there's been absolutely no regency. I did not want a regency period. Kathy Bolter says, Katie Hopkins won't be going upstairs, if you catch my meaning. Well, she'll be sliding down that pole, won't she? Straight down. There's a few who'll be going straight down. Can you have babies in heaven? No, dear. No. Jenna P says, you need to shave. All hairs grow after death, dear. Vanilla says, even foxes cry. I'm crying right now because me and my fox friends are mourning you, your majesty. Oh my goodness, but they do get itchy noses in heaven. Greater Bilby says, Elvis probably is still signing autographs at the pearly gates instead of the gates of Graceland. Well, I think he's waiting. I think he's waiting for all of his family to ascend. But no, he's still stuck on the loo. Angelica says, you have surpassed yourself. Who's Elliot? I have no idea. Stop being impertinent. Elaine says, has Elliot gone cuckoo tonight? I love it. Who's Elliot? No idea, dear. Maya says, here in Atlanta, we're not looking forward to Queen Camilla. Well, we all weren't, dear. She's stolen all my jewels. Sean says, can I rig the 2020 elections to get Trump out of this world? Well, I have to say, I'm not going to do that, because that would mean that perhaps he could end up here with me. So no, he can stay down there. Is it still Halloween? It is now, yes, technically. Did I greet Winston Churchill? He ate everything at the pearly gates, and that's why there's absolutely no food in heaven. Katie says, is Catherine doing well now? She's getting ready to take over. Well, she's not even Princess of Wales yet, so no, that's a long way off, dear. Vanilla says, Your Majesty, since I heard that ghosts can visit people in dreams, can you visit me whilst I'm dreaming tonight? Yes, I will tiptoe into your dreams, and I will go, boo! Araine says, what is the Queen Mum saying about your attire? Well, the Queen Mum, Mumsy dear, Mumsy is still wearing her gorgeous gowns. And I have to say that she still likes to be photographed by Cecil Beaton. She sits there with her tiara on, and she preens herself, and she waves. She waves so graciously, and she does her curtsies. Yes, like that. Ooh, can you see my kilt, dear? She does her little curtsies, and she's more than content just playing bingo. I've got all my corgis up in heaven. Will Georgie and Andy get remarried? Don't you mean Fergie, dear? Fergie and Andy. Who knows what those two will be up to? Right. One is going to have to depart this world now. So I do hope that you have all enjoyed today's chat. So all that's left for me to do is to wave my little flag and say, Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. Britain never ever shall be slaves. So thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that bell so that you know whenever Royal Reviewer uploads a new video. So, and also make sure you are subscribed to the channel. So, from one in heaven, goodbye.